Hello, Professor. May I speak with you? You seem to hold Edelgard in high esteem. That is my impression, at least. She is certainly talented. No doubt about that. But I wonder, what is your opinion of me? I am quite talented too, am I not? Be honest. Do not hold back. Pretend that I am just a regular person, not the scion of a noble house. Evenly matched? Me? With her? I was just being modest before. Honestly, I have always prided myself on being superior to Edelgard. But evidently that is not your perspective. I suppose there is only one thing to do. I must demonstrate my excellence. Nonsense! You have entirely underestimated my abilities. You think I could ignore such a slight upon my honor? Not likely. Come, Professor! We will begin with battle. Edelgard's skills in combat are no match for mine. I heard that just the other day, she defeated a demonic beast without assistance. Well, anything Edelgard can do, I can do better. And in half the time. Professor, you can be my eyewitness and timekeeper. Here we go! 2 at once? That's... well, it will be fine. I can't do it. It seems you have saved my life. Thank you, Professor. Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Geyer of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Geyer, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments. What an interesting way of looking at life. Ah, it is you. Just at the right time. Oh, is it nighttime already? I must have gotten carried away. There is something I wanted to discuss. Something about you. I am starting to believe that you are a true hero. You hold the lost crest, you wield the sword of the Creator, and you lead everyone in battle against great enemies. Not only that, but you are a strategist. You give everyone direction, so they know what needs to be done. You do not seem particularly ambitious, and yet you accomplish so much. I am not exaggerating. Everything I said is true. I have been reading about the history of Fargus, you know. The kingdom's founder, Lug, the king of lions, had 2 advisors. One of them was Pan, the undesiring strategist. According to historical records, Pan wanted nothing for himself. He devoted himself entirely to Lug. He had tremendous power, but he never seemed concerned about his legacy. So in the old chronicles, there is hardly any mention of Pan's deeds. All that we know is that he helped Lug, his friend and leader. It is not surprising that you have never heard of him. I did not even know his name until recently. But when I watch how you conduct yourself, I feel that I am seeing the unknown deeds of Pan. It is only a thought, of course, but it makes me feel rather happy. Even if it is not in the pages of a history book, a life can be full of achievement. I know that I will never prevail over Edelgard. Even if I defeat her on the battlefield, I am what I am. Like you and this undesiring strategist, I will do what I am called to do, even if no mark of me remains in the history books. Hello, Professor. May I speak with you? You seem to hold Edelgard in high esteem. That is my impression, at least. She is certainly talented. No doubt about that. But I wonder, what is your opinion of me? I am quite talented too, am I not? Be honest. Do not hold back. Pretend that I am just a regular person, not the scion of a noble house. Evenly matched? Me? With her? I was just being modest before. Honestly, I have always prided myself on being superior to Edelgard. But evidently that is not your perspective. I suppose there is only one thing to do. I must demonstrate my excellence. Nonsense! You have entirely underestimated my abilities. You think I could ignore such a slight upon my honor? Not likely. Come, Professor! We will begin with battle. Edelgard's skills in combat are no match for mine. I heard that just the other day, she defeated a demonic beast without assistance. Well, anything Edelgard can do, I can do better. And in half the time. Professor, you can be my eyewitness and timekeeper. Here we go! 2 at once? That's... well, it will be fine. I can't do it. It seems you have saved my life. Thank you, Professor. Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Geyer of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the Empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Geyer, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments. What an interesting way of looking at life. Ah, it is you. Just at the right time. Oh, is it nighttime already? I must have gotten carried away. There is something I wanted to discuss. Something about you. I am starting to believe that you are a true hero. You hold the lost crest, you wield the sword of the Creator, and you lead everyone in battle against great enemies. Not only that, but you are a strategist. You give everyone direction, so they know what needs to be done. You do not seem particularly ambitious, and yet you accomplish so much. I am not exaggerating. Everything I said is true. I have been reading about the history of Fargus, you know. The kingdom's founder, Lug, the king of lions, had 2 advisors. One of them was Pan, the undesiring strategist. According to historical records, Pan wanted nothing for himself. He devoted himself entirely to Lug. He had tremendous power, but he never seemed concerned about his legacy. So in the old chronicles, there is hardly any mention of Pan's deeds. All that we know is that he helped Lug, his friend and leader. It is not surprising that you have never heard of him. I did not even know his name until recently. But when I watch how you conduct yourself, I feel that I am seeing the unknown deeds of Pan. It is only a thought, of course, but it makes me feel rather happy. Even if it is not in the pages of a history book, a life can be full of achievement. I know that I will never prevail over Edelgard, even if I defeat her on the battlefield. I am what I am. Like you and this undesiring strategist, I will do what I am called to do, even if no mark of me remains in the history books. It has been a long, hard road. Would you agree? You cannot humor me even a little. Perhaps we can agree that every long road comes to an end. That is when friends who have walked together must go their separate ways. You will guide Fodlan, I will return to my position as Duke Geyer. Life will go on. It must. I once asked something of you. I asked you to bear witness to my achievements. But even if I achieve nothing, and there is nothing left of me after I am gone, I still want you to see me. I mean that I want you to be my wife. I need you as much as I need my next breath. More, perhaps. I hope that you need me, too. That is it? You hear noble Ferdinand von Geyer declare his love for you, and all you say is, I understand? This is torture. Please, if you are going to refuse my proposal, simply tell me. I am not sure I understand. You do? Does that mean... Really? Oh, my head is ringing with pure joy, like 1,000 bells. It is even greater than the joy of victory in battle. It is victory in life itself. Apologies. I got a little carried away there. I am shaking. I cannot control it. It would be no exaggeration to say that my whole life, everything I have done, has led me to this moment. I am overjoyed. Oh dear, I might faint. Give me a minute or two to regain my balance before you say anything too fantastic. Imagine making our way through life side by side. The whole world has taken on a rosy hue. It is no use. I cannot stay upright. Please, let me lean on your shoulder. That is better. We are as close as can be. From now on, we will lean on each other. Thank you, my love. You came at just the right time, Edelgard.
Is that so?
Yes, I have a story for you. It's about a pair of nobles living about 100 years after the founding of the Adrestian Empire. One was Derek von Geyer. People called him the warrior prime minister. He bravely led soldiers into battle and mowed down his enemies. And the other
was the emperor of the time. She wagered the throne in a duel against Derek and won.
Why don't we do what our ancestors did and have a little duel ourselves?
That's what you were going to say. But the answer is no.
You interrupted me! The warrior prime minister used a dramatic line to propose the duel, and you did not allow me to say it!
My apologies, Ferdinand.
Well, at any rate, you were correct in surmising that I was about to challenge you. But you were rather blunt in your refusal.
Ferdinand, control yourself. When will you tire of challenging me in pointless competitions?
I can quit now if you insist on it. I will not challenge you again.
You expect me to believe that?
Why do you look so surprised? Of course it is not a valid duel unless both parties are willing. Now that you have refused outright, I must come up with some other way of getting that which I seek.
I'm afraid to ask what you could possibly mean by that.
Only that I will find some other way of showing everyone that I am superior to you. I will write a handbill listing your accomplishments, alongside my own more impressive accomplishments. Copyists will produce thousands of these pamphlets and distribute them far and wide. Then everyone will know about my...
This has to stop. Perhaps I should have ended things with a duel after all. Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand, stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish. Ha!
Ugh! It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand.
Ah, the smell, the texture, the smooth finish. This region's tea is the finest in the world.
Hello, Ferdinand. You seem to be in a good mood.
What is that supposed to mean? Perhaps you expected me to hold a grudge against you after our duel. In fact, I have moved on.
Have you now? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I took it hard at the time, I will confess. I always thought that I equaled you in skill, or even surpassed you. But you showed me that I do not come close to matching your talents. Yet a true noble does not give up in the face of defeat. I will continue my training, and one day I will be an elite warrior. That is the path I must take, as a noble and a man of honor.
You really are in a good mood. Your determination is admirable.
Yes, one day I will surpass your abilities, and I will defeat you in combat.
Ferdinand, there's something I've been meaning to say to you for a while now. Honestly, I couldn't care less that you were of noble birth. Your fierce determination doesn't come from your bloodline. It's your own doing. The reason I value you and want to be friends with you is because of who you are, not who your family is.
I have something I would like to say to you, too. Certainly we must recognize the common folk who strive for greatness and attain it. But for those of us born into nobility, things are more complicated. From birth, nobles must excel. If we do not, we will be forced out of our houses. This environment breeds superior individuals, and they in turn recreate the rigorous environment for their own children. Without that cycle, there would be no political elite guiding the world towards prosperity.
So you're saying that the kind of world I'm striving to create is wrong?
I would not go so far as to say your way is wrong, just that another way might be better. If you insist upon undoing the nobility, then we must build something in its place. We can provide free education for all, and then select the highest performing students for more intensive training and tutoring. I truly believe that people are products of their environment.
Finding a way to educate the people. Interesting. I'm impressed by how much thought you've given this. No matter what shape the world takes, I'm sure I'll always need people like you by my side. People with strong principles who will argue with me and force me to consider ideas that are contrary to my own.
Yes, exactly! Finally, Edelgard, you appreciate how important I am to your cause.
I've always thought of you as a valued friend, Ferdinand. That's nothing new.
Edelgard, I have to tell you something. I think now is the right time. Do you know what my ancestor Derek von Eyre said after your ancestor defeated him? He said, "You are an imperial beauty. Please, accept me as your husband."
Halt, Ferdinand. There's a time and a place for everything. But that time is not now.
With this idea, I may be able to get the one-up on Edelgard.
This again.
Hubert! I wish you would not sneak up on me like that.
Maybe you would be more perceptive if your mind were less burdened by sedition.
Sedition? Absurd. This is an important project.
Yes, I heard. A new way to prove how superior you are to Lady Edelgard. She is not your rival, Ferdinand. She is above you. A noble like you ought to know his place.
Anything is better than being a noble like you. Every time you open your mouth, it's Lady Edelgard this or Lady Edelgard that. Do you ever think for yourself? You follow her around like a pet. You spend all of your time fretting over her, and yet you never truly express an opinion of your own. Before you reprimand me, take a moment to consider your own failings.
Your nonsense is tiresome, so I hope this will be the last time I have to remind you. Lady Edelgard is your emperor. You are nothing more than her retainer.
Yes, I understand that. But my duty is to guide her, to give frank advice when she is on the wrong course of action. That is what I strive to do, always. Thus my devotion to surpass Edelgard, so that if she needs guidance, I will be prepared to give it. If you think it is tiresome to have a mind of your own, you will never be much of an advisor.
Does the river of filth pouring out of your mouth ever stop flowing? Your obsession with all things superficial is disgusting. It's no use. You're hopeless. I'll take my leave.
I have nothing more to say to you. Get out of here.
Show them this letter. Threaten them. Do what you must. Now go.
Yes, sir. Hubert, that letter. Is that what I think it was?
I suppose there's no denying it.
But Edelgard...
Explicitly forbade me to send it. Yes, I know.
I cannot believe it! You disobeyed a direct order? I thought you were her loyal aide.
Unwaveringly. All that I do for her. I seem to recall you expressing a similar sentiment. It is our role to guide her when she is on the wrong course of action. Is that not what you said?
You are not supposed to do it in secret. When you disagree with your leader, you must voice your concerns directly. Otherwise, what is the point?
The point is the same. Lady Edelgard's best interests are served whether she knows it or not. She needs not trouble herself with the mundane details of my actions. Only results matter.
You are sorely misguided. When I believe that Edelgard is making a mistake, I tell her as much. Through discussing the matter, I sometimes find that I was mistaken. To skip that process, to make a decision that is not yours to make.
Perhaps your advice is simply useless then.
Excuse me?
Listen to yourself. If I do as Lady Edelgard requires, then you tell me to be more independent. But if I tread my own path, I am misguided. I suppose the fault is mine for expecting any useful advice to come out of your mouth.
Ugh, I have had enough of your grousing. To think, I started to believe you were a useful aide.
It's strange. I never thought you and I would be able to sit together and drink tea like this.
Drink tea, you say? But that does not smell like tea. The aroma. Would that be coffee by any chance? Imported from Dagda, I believe. I do not care for it myself.
Your knowledge is impressive. Although I should expect nothing less from a noble, I suppose. Lady Edelgard surpasses you in nearly every respect. But I think when it comes to positivity, you may actually exceed her.
Excuse me?
In a way, it is merely a mask for your tactlessness. But even so, your relentless optimism, well, suffice it to say that it is your best quality.
What?
You are constantly striving to grow as a person, to seek new knowledge, to push new limits. When others might get distracted or abandon their path, you never yield. In that aspect, at least, I think you are unmatched.
Hubert, are you all right? Do you have a cold? Or the plague? Am I hearing a deathbed confession?
It was only a compliment. There's no need for such dramatic exaggeration.
Dramatic, you say?
I do my best to analyze others without emotion. Even if I find you to be a contemptible degenerate, I can still evaluate your abilities in an impartial way.
So, because you assess people without emotion, you are totally confident in your appraisals. It seems I was wrong about you.
You actually understand.
Please, do not compliment me again, though. I find it quite unsettling. It is like hearing a snake sing an aria. At least put it in a letter next time.
In the very unlikely event that there is a next time, I promise to put it in writing. Hello, Ferdinand. Wait, that aroma.
Your nose is as sharp as ever, Hubert. Yes, it is a bag of fresh coffee beans.
Why did you buy coffee? You said you don't care for it.
My stance has not changed. Drab, bitter, with that muddy texture. If I have even a sip, my hands start to tremble.
Rather harsh. What are you doing with it then?
Well, you see, but wait a moment. What is that? Is that an imported tea from the East?
It is indeed. Keen eyes.
Flaunting my favorite drink right in front of me. And you do not even drink tea. Fiendish. It is for Edelgard, I assume.
Before I answer that, I would like to know what you are doing with the coffee.
Well,
Is it a gift? Perhaps for someone you fancy?
A gift, yes. For you.
Who is the unlucky... Did you say for me? This coffee is a gift for me. Have I heard you correctly?
Yes, that is what I said. A noble does not go back on his word. Just take it.
I should decline.
Why?
The thought of receiving a gift from you, unbidden and unreciprocated, fills me with revulsion. Therefore, accept this tea as a gift from me.
From me? Are you certain? I would hate to deprive the intended recipient of such a fine tea.
That would be difficult to do, since I bought it with you in mind.
Oh, in that case, thank you. What? You were planning to give this to me all along?
That is what I said.
Really? Only one thing to do. We must take a tea break.
Very well. But tea is not what I will be drinking.
Of course. I will make you some coffee.
Then I will prepare the tea. Just look at this place. It's so beautiful, I believe I should take a nap and enjoy it properly.
Linhardt, lost in thought, I see. Unacceptable. Are you not aware that a noble's duty is to be ever vigilant?
Rest increases alertness. Is there something I can do for you, Ferdinand?
Well, I was just passing by, and I thought I could give you a little advice. You always seem to be napping. Why not spend your free time doing something productive?
Easier said than done, Ferdinand. I'm afraid I suffer from a constitution that tires easily.
Some training will remedy that. Let us work on that today. I will train you myself. Arise, Linhardt. The righteous path of the noble lies before you.
You're always giving it your all, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Is there something wrong with that?
Of course not. In fact, I rather enjoy your demeanor. You go all out even when others wish you wouldn't. You work hard, inspire the admiration of others, and your dignity as a noble is beyond reproach.
I consider it my mission to serve as a guide and a model for other members of the nobility.
As capable as you are striking. Next to you, I am a mere infant.
Oh, you are far too kind. Although I do work hard each day to achieve all of which you speak.
You've mastered all the important noble skills. You drink tea, talk about how great you are, ride horses.
Indeed. I went for a ride earlier today.
Is that so? You'll have to tell me about it sometime when I'm not walking away.
Where are you going?
I must get some sleep, being the infant that I am. Farewell for now, Ferdinand, O noble among nobles.
Noble among nobles? Seems a bit much. Did he say get some sleep? Hey, wait! Linhardt, there you are.
Observant as ever, Ferdinand. What can I help you with?
You have been utilizing clever tricks to give me the slip. But not today. Prepare yourself. A noble cannot escape from his duty. Hold these words in your heart.
It seems you really mean it this time. I suppose I have no choice but to outmatch you.
Finally, a little enthusiasm. You are bravely stepping upon the path of nobility. Let us begin!
Come now, Ferdinand. Don't be foolish. I can't possibly train with you. I have places to be.
Wait! I will not allow you to get away!
I can't run anymore.
Just admit defeat.
Can't we? Just a minute. Ferdinand, let me catch my breath.
Well, maybe just for a moment. I could use a rest myself. I am surprised you could run so far. I had assumed that all that lounging around would have dulled your constitution, but I had a difficult time keeping up.
The fear of having to exert myself really helped. You're none too slow yourself. It's been a while since I ran like that. It actually feels pretty good.
It does it not? Well, how about we say that thrilling chase was your training for the day? If you will excuse me, I am going to run even more, so I can catch you next time.
After all the running you already did? That's our Ferdinand. You always give everything your all, don't you?
And what is wrong with that?
Nothing whatsoever, Ferdinand. I mean that.
That settles that. And don't even think about brawling around here again.
Impressive, Caspar. Well done.
Hey, Ferdinand, did you see that fight?
I saw it from start to finish. Both parties were at fault, disturbing the peace. Then you stepped in and corrected their behavior. You are setting a good example. I am proud to call you my fellow noble.
Your fellow noble? I wasn't even thinking about nobility. That had nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, nothing? Resolving conflicts among common folk is a duty of the nobles. Is that not what you were doing?
I guess so. But it was more like instinct or something. I saw people acting out of line and I had to step in.
Ah, you were acting on impulse. You might be better served following moral convictions rather than instincts. Take me, for example. I always bear in mind that I am a noble and behave accordingly. The fortunate must help the unfortunate. That is my guiding principle.
I never have any idea what you're talking about. If someone's in trouble, you gotta help them out. Simple as that.
A difference of opinion, you might say. Very well then. Believe what you will. I will not expend energy trying to change your mind.
Maybe all of this noble stuff just isn't for me. Hey! Don't walk away when I'm talking to you!
Caspar, I have been waiting.
Ferdinand! Waiting for what?
I am going to give you a lesson on the righteous path of the noble.
Righteous path? What? You have a problem with my path now? You think you're more righteous than me?
That remains to be seen. I heard you stopped a robbery in town the other day. Some despicable thief who was robbing an elderly shopkeeper. Rumor has it you didn't wreak as much havoc as usual.
Hey now, I think you're underestimating me here. When the thief showed up, the old shopkeeper was so scared that he could barely stand. I didn't want the guy to pass out, so I had to stay calm while handling the situation. Rather than fighting, I gave my own money to the thief and told him to get out of there. Or else.
How, magnanimous of you.
The thief fell for it and left the shop. That's when I chased him down. I got my money back and gave that thief a good beating. He won't be back here anytime soon.
Ah, so you walloped the scoundrel. That does sound like you. I am finding this story more plausible. Nevertheless, I think...
Hold on. Now it's your turn. I heard a very interesting story about you recently.
My turn, eh? Let's hear this story then.
The way I heard it, you punched a foreign soldier right in the middle of town.
Stop. I know what you are getting at. But you have the wrong idea.
Let's hear your version then.
I had been browsing for weapons at a rundown stall. Suddenly, a man seized the stall's owner and started dragging him away. Someone with a less generous spirit might say the peddler had it coming. His wares were quite inferior after all. But without a moment's hesitation, I leapt to his aid and soundly defeated the goon.
Well done. Sounds exciting.
It was nothing, really. Anyway, the old shopkeeper let me in on the details. He said that he was a novice trader, tricked by a noble into selling low-quality goods. That ruse was about to come to light, so the noble had sent a mercenary to keep the shopkeeper silent.
So that's what really happened. I just heard you snapped and attacked some noble servant. I figured it was worth asking about.
Well, I won't deny it. I forgot my rank for a moment and let my instincts take over.
Is there something wrong with that? It sounds a little like something I would do.
And your, gentle approach to handling that robbery. That sounds like something I might do. You were not overcome by your impulses. You kept a cool head, for the most part.
I think we're starting to rub off on each other. Always looking for a way to defend justice and to lift each other up.
Partners in justice, eh? Well now, that I can agree to.
Another fine day, alone in my room, and plenty of books to read.
Bernadetta, I have something to discuss with you.
What? I didn't do anything.
No need to be defensive. I am not angry.
Oh, you definitely are. I can tell. Just get it over with. What did I do?
You did not do anything wrong. Please, listen. Look, just breathe, will you?
Can't breathe. Too scared.
I see that you are struggling. Please calm down.
Easy for you to say.
I just wanted to discuss how you are always hiding in your room. It seems like something must be troubling you, for you to shut yourself away like that. If something is the matter, maybe I can help. But you need to tell me what it is first.
No, no thanks. I'm fine. See, I'm breathing now. You fixed me. Can I go?
Do you not realize that life is passing you by? Have you no desire to venture beyond this reclusive lifestyle? There is a whole world waiting for you out there. The social life of a noble is actually rather...
Just stop it. I'm not interested.
Bernadetta, this is unhealthy behavior. I beg you to take my hand, otherwise I will have to pick you up and carry you, and neither of us will...
What if I actually like being alone? Is that so hard to imagine? It's none of your business. Get lost!
Ugh!
Oh no!
Ouch! I sprained my wrist.
Oh no, 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 no. Now you've done it, Bernie. Now you're his eternal rival.
I do not wish to hurt you. Actually,
No! I'm done for! You'll be the death of me for sure!
Maybe I should just come back later. Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives. Help!
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door. Just listen to me.
I don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay, I like truces.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did. I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself. It wasn't all your fault, you know. I'm to blame too. I hurt you, and I'm sorry.
Really, it is fine. It healed quickly.
And it wasn't for nothing either.
I am not so sure.
I do like my time alone. Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while. Maybe if I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again, because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything. So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is. So, the end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious! At least I got you to laugh.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul. Do you not agree, Bernadetta?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh, that reminds me.
What's that?
A long time ago, my parents were in talks to arrange my marriage with a certain young lady. She never set foot outside of her room, and she made little dolls to curse her perceived enemies. Such were the rumors. Frightened, I dissuaded my parents from going through with their plans.
I can see that. She does sound pretty frightening. I relate to the staying in the room part, though.
That girl was you, Bernadetta, a daughter of House Varley.
What? I don't make dolls to curse people.
You are a skilled embroiderer, no? I guess I was wrong. You are not making dolls.
I did make dolls, but cute ones. Nice little carnivorous plants and things.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
Yes, adorable. Anyway, if I had actually known you, I would have accepted the proposal.
Why? Did you have some scheme in mind?
No, I just mean, now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to...
So, you're saying you'd... with me? It's getting kinda hot in here, isn't it? Maybe it's the tea.
Why are you getting so worked up? That was all a long time ago now.
A long time ago?
Yes. Now we are soldiers fighting together in the same great conflict, right? And my parents are gone. So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had been married, we would not have been able to build such a deep friendship.
That's true. Yeah, we never would have gotten this close. I would have given up on the relationship my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
So all in all, I am glad I refused to marry that doll-cursing princess.
Hey! I said I never made cursed dolls!
Sorry. I am just glad to have met you at the monastery. I had better take my leave. We should have tea together again sometime soon.
Yeah, see you. I'm glad we met here too.
Ah, Dorothea! The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
Ferdy, I must say you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again. Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone? Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right. The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee. That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker? Ah, you have arrived at just the right time. Care for one of these handmade treats?
My goodness, Ferdy. When did you become such a talented confectioner?
Oh, Dorothea, I am hardly an expert.
Nevertheless, you have managed to make some tasty-looking treats.
Well, it is the first time I have tried my hand at it. Honestly, there were several unsuccessful attempts preceding this batch. I made these pastries to solve that riddle you gave me. The reason you despise me.
Oh?
You said I was like a bee. The bee is a dutiful worker, just as I am. But the bee inherits a capacious home, with a wealth of honey. Similarly, I inherited my fortune. I did not receive it as a reward for my labor. I surmised that perhaps you'd feel differently about me if I earned something all on my own. That was my plan, to emulate your transformation from desperate pauper to successful songstress.
All on your own? Did you renounce your nobility? Give away your riches?
No, I made these. I obtained all the ingredients on my own, without anyone's help.
You mean, you got the sugar and the flour?
Yes. To earn the flour, I worked in the fields. To earn the sugar, I carried a merchant's wares.
Who did the cooking? You?
Naturally. I took on some extra chores in exchange for use of the kitchen at night.
I have to admit, that's impressive. Hey, it looks like you had a bit of an accident. Is your hand okay?
I burned myself a little while I was baking. Nothing to worry about.
Nonsense. That burn will scar you, know. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
Wait, Dorothea! You have yet to try my treats.
You should be fine now, Ferdy. Big shot nobles have to treat their bodies with care just like the rest of us.
There you go again. Noble this, noble that. Though you did say it with less disdain than usual.
Nothing gets past you. As it were, I may have reconsidered you a little.
You have reconsidered me? Finally! Just as I had hoped, we are becoming friends. Now then, I propose that we...
I only said I reconsidered a little. And you still haven't figured out why I said you're like a bee. Which is funny, because you look like a bee right now. Bye!
So, I am still a bee. A completely mystified bee. Ah, Dorothea. I am surprised to find you here. I did not think you were all that religious.
There's a lot you don't know, Ferdy. But you're right. I'd hardly call myself devout. After all, it was thanks to the goddess and her noble regime that I suffered so much as a child.
You must be quite brave to speak so coarsely in this hallowed place. But what do you mean about suffering as a child?
Do I really have to tell you? Oh, forget it. I'm sure you already know that I'm an orphan. I grew up in the alleys of Enbar, begging for coins, eating scraps, drinking from drains.
I see. I remember seeing street children around the city.
I could have died. Then the right person overheard me singing. And suddenly I was in the opera. I was a songstress. And my goodness, did the nobles like me. The people who used to spit on me and call me an urchin, they praised my voice and my beauty. A nobleman who once kicked me gave me the most gorgeous shoes. I almost asked if it was a joke.
So that is why you despise the nobility. But why do you think I am the same as them? Do you really believe that is the kind of man I am? You think I would ever treat people differently based on appearances? There is nothing noble about that.
Oh, really? You're something different? That's not how I remember things. It was the very day that I was discovered. I was in high spirits. Nothing was wrong in the world. I secretly bathed in one of the town's fountains, hoping to wash off some of the dirt from the streets. I sang the same song the opera composer overheard earlier that day. And that's when you appeared.
Me? No, it could not have been.
Don't play dumb.
You glared at me, the same look I'd gotten from every other noble, then you ran off. When we met at the academy, you were a different person. All smiles and friendly words. You were like a bee, Ferdinand. A bee attracted to a flower in full bloom.
So it was you then, singing that song. Dorothea, please listen. This is a misunderstanding. When I saw you, I could not take my eyes off you. I was hypnotized. Your beautiful voice, your elegant face, droplets of water on your skin that glittered in the sun. I thought you were a water nymph.
Stop it, don't lie to me.
No, it is true. I was only a child. The vision overwhelmed me. That is why I ran. I plucked up the courage to return, but no one was there. I thought perhaps it was a dream.
Maybe I can believe you. I've wanted to, ever since the day you made me those treats. I thought then that maybe you weren't like the others, but there's a lot I have to let go of, Ferdy.
Of course. I am glad we had this conversation. You know, I do not mind you thinking of me as a bee. Life as a simple drone, circling a queen. It actually sounds quite wonderful.
Don't drones keep the queen safe from other bugs? I like the sound of that.
Ferdinand? Our professor is wanting to see you. He has much concentration right now. I will wait for him to be finished reading.
Diplomacy has an effect upon weapons development. Yes, that makes sense. Oh, Petra! How long have you been there?
A short time. You were devoting all of your attention to that book.
Forgive me, I was fully absorbed in my reading. I see you have been reading as well. Anything interesting?
I am studying the history of Fodlan.
A history book. What a keen student you are. And it's about House Hresfelg. Certainly a stimulating topic.
I am wishing to learn all about Fodlan. What is the book you are reading?
Oh, this? This relates to a little hobby of mine. The regional history of weapons development in Fodlan. Militaries have to adapt their weapons according to terrain and climate. And they have to keep up with technologies in other regions. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is interesting. I see why you would be enjoying that kind of reading.
Oh, does that excite your curiosity too? Perhaps you would care to read more about it then. This is just one of 18 volumes, and our library has the entire collection.
I give you my gratitude. Research of weapons could be a good reference for me. Oh, please take my apologies. I was meaning to tell you that our professor is wanting to see you.
Oh, it is not like you to forget something. I suppose I ought to be going then.
Yes, it is a rarity that I forget something. But it is not impossible.
Taking care of some weapon maintenance, Petra? You seem completely absorbed.
Yes, taking care of the weapons has great importance.
I cannot argue with that. That weapon there, is it from Bridget?
No, it is a weapon of Dagda. But the people of Bridget used them often.
Fascinating. I have read about the weapons of Dagda, but this is my first time seeing one in person.
Lots of weapons and fighting techniques came from Dagda to Bridget.
Ah, so Dagda to the west had a big influence on the Bridget archipelago. I am fascinated by foreign fighting techniques. Would you consider teaching me sometime?
I will. But it is difficult to explain fighting with words. We can try sparring, maybe?
Yes, a practical demonstration. I would be quite grateful.
Let's have our beginning then.
Perhaps we should stop there.
Oh? Do you think you have understanding of the fighting techniques from Dagda?
Yes. Now that I have experienced it firsthand. I used to look down on foreign fighting styles, but I was clearly remiss. The footwork, the nimble way you shift your weight is extraordinary. I will have to remember those moves for the next time I am in battle. Clearly, you have honed your skills through practice. Your fist felt as sharp as a spear.
Bridget is stuck in between Dagda and Fodlan. It is of much importance to hone our fighting techniques. I am of the royal family, but I am a warrior before that. I must fight to live and to protect my home.
When the alliances of Bridget and Dagda encroached on the Empire, they were always driven back. But perhaps the Empire's victory was due to geographic advantage or divine intervention, rather than military superiority. Having met you, that is what I think. I cannot help but feel a little disgraced. I held foreign fighting styles in such low regard without ever seeing them for myself.
When I came to Fodlan, I felt disgraced for many things that I learned. But there is no disgrace in losing ignorance. We need to be learning and growing with each other, always.
Yes, by working together we can make progress. And both sides need to look ahead to the future.
Ferdinand.
Huh? Ah, Petra. Is there something I can help you with?
No, I am not needing help. I was just thinking that you look... lonely.
Lonely? In wartime? Hardly. I am too busy trying to survive to feel lonely. But once we have survived, what will you do with yourself, Petra? Return to your home? Edelgard said she would like you to ascend the throne in Bridget, to ensure good relations between the nations.
Yes, my plan is to be returning home. But if Bridget and Fodlan can be friendly, I will be able to have visits whenever I choose. Maybe it is even possible for me to be living in Fodlan.
Live in Fodlan? Do you not want to go back to your homeland?
I do have the hope of returning one day, but Fodlan is also like a homeland to me now. I came to Fodlan 9 years ago. I have been living half of my life here. My family is living in Bridget, but in Fodlan, I have new family and new friends.
New family? I am glad to hear you feel that way about us, Petra. In that case, we will have to make sure that none of us die. We do not want to lose anyone in the family.
Yes, we will be winning, and you will not be dying.
Ha! Do not worry. I do not intend to die. I have some things to do when the war is over.
Things?
Yes. You and I can be the link between Fodlan and Bridget.
Oh.
Okay, I have to confess. I fibbed a little. About not being lonely. When this war ends, I will be quite lonely indeed. If you go back to Bridget.
Is that a truth?
I have just made a decision. I will work as an ambassador, improving relations between our people. Whether you are in Bridget or Fodlan, I will be there too. Then both places can move forward together in eternal friendship. We ought to join forces and make that a reality. Do you not agree?
You have my gratitude, Ferdinand. All of it. I have loneliness just like you. But your words gave me great happiness. Please do what you are saying, and be a bridge for Fodlan and Bridget.
You can count on me. We will keep at it, and one day...
Yes, one day, we will be seeing that future.
Oh, Mercedes. This is unexpected.
Hello, Ferdinand. Did you come to pray?
I did. I quite like the atmosphere in the cathedral. It is holy and solemn. Perfectly suited to a noble, wouldn't you say?
I guess so.
You guess so? I think the matter is rather clear-cut. It is incumbent upon nobles that we pray regularly to the goddess. Even Edelgard, who opposes the church's methods, does not deny us the right to pray to the goddess. The piety of the nobles is a model for commoners. It teaches them the value of devotion.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. I couldn't agree more.
These days, many nobles scarcely, if ever, pray. Look around. You and I are alone in this cathedral. It is really quite a shame.
Ah, well, I don't really know that I count as a noble anyway.
I am afraid the nobility seems to be losing its way. When you pray, you are usually alone, right?
Yes, you're right. I usually am.
Precisely. Where are the others? Of course you cannot force people to worship. That is out of the question. Nobles must determine for themselves what they will believe and how they will pray. A religion foisted on you without your say is not much of a religion at all. Do you not agree?
Yes, I definitely agree. Definitely agree.
On the other hand, we cannot stand idly by while...
It was great talking to you, but I'm getting pretty sleepy. I'm gonna head off to bed. Good night.
All in all, one has to conclude. Mercedes, where did she go? I must have inspired her to go out and revive the faith. Perhaps I should do the same. I cannot let her show me up.
Come on, sell it to me!
Huh? What's going on here? Hey, stop that! Can't you see he's not interested?
We're just talking business here, now move it along!
Oh, I just thought it looked a little... Actually, now I'm curious. What kind of business are you conducting? I've been told I have a keen eye for appraisal.
Just trying to buy a sword. I told him to name his price, but he won't give it up.
Any price? You must be able to afford anything your heart desires. But did you consider that he might have a good reason not to sell it? Maybe it's a family heirloom, or simply his favorite sword.
No one asked for your appraisal, now move it! Or are you looking for trouble?
That is quite enough! You would dare threaten a woman? I will not permit such ungentlemanly conduct.
Oh, hello, Ferdinand. Do you have an opinion on all this?
Behind me, milady! I will protect you!
Who are you? You looking for trouble too?
Keep your distance, gutless knave. I just cleaned my sword, and if I maim you, I will have to clean it again. Neither of us wants that, so I suggest you leave at once.
Ah, forget it. You're not worth my time.
Ah, thank you so much. You saved me there.
Well, that is taken care of. Are you hurt, Mercedes?
Hurt? No, I'm fine. We were only talking.
Ah, I am glad. I do not abide uncouth behavior. Stopping it is my duty as a noble. You know, stepping in to prevent extortion, that was quite brave of you.
What? Oh, you're talking about that time in town. I wouldn't say I did anything brave, really. I just asked what was going on.
No need to be humble. Helping the weak is precisely what a virtuous noble does.
I don't think what I did is quite the same thing.
What do you mean by that?
The point I was trying to make is that some things in this world can't be bought or sold with money. I think I let myself get a little too worked up, though. It's just, when I saw it happening, it reminded me of my own past.
Your past? You were originally a daughter of House Bartels, a minor noble family, I heard. You abandoned your title, and now you live as a commoner. Is there more to the story? Pray tell.
Life was becoming difficult for us, so my mother and I fled from House Bartels. We found refuge in a small church in Fargus and lived there for a few years. A man appeared one day and said that he wanted to adopt me. It was obvious that he only cared about my bloodline and crest. The priest refused to let me go, but the man used his money to overwhelm the church. In the end, I had no choice but to leave with him. That soldier we saw? I guess he just reminded me of my adoptive father.
The man who exploited you so that he could join the nobility. Yes, I understand. But I must confess, that part of the story confuses me. There is nothing to gain from having a noble title. What's so funny?
I never thought I'd hear you question the value of nobility, Ferdinand.
Oh, well, that is not quite what I meant. Using someone else to obtain high status, with no effort and no accomplishment? Certainly you can obtain a title like that, but it hardly makes you a noble.
I completely agree.
By the same token, although you are legally a commoner, in your heart, you are a proud and virtuous noble. That is what I think, at any rate. Mercedes! Finally! There you are.
Ah, Ferdinand! Why are you so short of breath?
I just wanted to show you something.
What's this? Oh.
Yes, these are financial records that I recovered from your adoptive father. They prove that when he adopted you, large sums of money changed hands.
Where did you come across these?
I stealthily made my way into Ferdinand and looked around his estate. It was easy. That kind of thing is no trouble for an intrepid young noble such as myself.
That's amazing! I mean, amazingly irresponsible. I can't believe you put yourself at risk for my benefit. I really wish you wouldn't do such things.
No, I did it for my benefit. I could not help myself. With these documents, we can show everyone what a scoundrel your adoptive father really is. His noble aspirations will be crushed. The lord of the region will probably rescind his adoption contract. In other words, you will be free. Here, take them. Do with them what you will.
Do you really believe these will set me free?
Yes, of course. You will be free to decide your own path in life, and go wherever your heart leads you.
That does sound nice, but... I'm sorry, Ferdinand, but I think you should hold on to the documents.
Why? Is this not what you want?
I've lived so much of my life following everyone else's lead. So much so that I've come to terms with it. It's almost unavoidable at this point. But with these, I could regain my freedom and change all that.
You baffle me. Do you not wish to be free?
Of course I do. Let me try that again in a way you might understand. Ahem. A true noble cuts their own path, seizing freedom from the clutches of tyranny.
I cannot argue with that. Fine then. I will hold on to the documents.
But I'm really very happy that you're so concerned with my well-being, Ferdinand. It means so much to me that you went through all that trouble on my behalf.
Of course, Mercedes. The smile on your face is well worth the effort.
Ah, that fragrance! Could it be? Ferdinand, I cannot help but notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means. Allow me to pour.
Ah, what a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Such a precise, poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well. Flavor, fragrance, and hue, all in fine harmony. This is a most superior brew. And in a market saturated by pale imitation, no less. You did well to acquire such fine fare.
You are clearly quite passionate about tea. And more than just passionate. You know what it takes to brew a fine cup. To say nothing of your flawless etiquette and sterling attentiveness.
Certainly, proper etiquette at tea time is one of the surest hallmarks of quality breeding. And the extent of one's attentiveness is quite often indicative of the depth of one's character. The ability of a person of fine stock to exhibit a rich quality of character is precisely what determines whether one is worthy to be called noble. And all of that can be seen in how one handles such a simple thing as a cup of tea.
Ah, marvelously put, Lawrence. I can tell you have given much thought to this subject. And if I may, I have always considered you to be the very model of noble comportment.
Oh, likewise, this has certainly been an extraordinarily meaningful cup of tea.
I wholeheartedly concur. Before we part ways, I would like to offer you some of these leaves.
Truly? Well, I'm flattered, but I cannot simply accept them without offering something in exchange. You simply must allow me to host you in turn, by way of recompense. We shall drink from House Gloucester's finest teacups and enjoy the loveliest of its cakes.
That sounds exquisite. I look forward to it.
That reminds me, Ferdinand. I wonder if a certain rumor has already reached your ears.
I suspect I know what you are referring to. A certain noble who caused a stir at one of the local taverns, correct? For someone of status to make such a scene. What a disgrace.
I thought just the same. A noble ought to hold himself to a higher standard. It is hardly appropriate to drink and mingle with a tavern full of commoners.
Oh, that is not quite what I meant. I do not object to a noble patronizing their local establishments. In fact, I would say such excursions have value.
Is that so? I would be very curious to hear what value you mean exactly. But allow me first to venture a guess. Is it that you suppose it is proper for a noble to bolster a town's wealth with his patronage? If that is your thinking, then I would counter that whatever one adds to a merchant's coffers seldom makes it to the pockets of the townsfolk. I think that if a noble wishes to use his resources to ease the burdens of the commoners, he ought to go about town and spend it more directly.
That is wonderfully insightful, Lawrence. Albeit not what I had in mind. What I meant was this. We can benefit from crossing the threshold and learning more about regular folk. We scarcely understand the reality of their lives. In turn, they do not know about us. I have heard that some believe we have horns growing from our heads. It is an embarrassing and potentially perilous state of affairs.
You are quite right. In fact, that reminds me of something a boy once said to me when I visited a village on my family's territory. He actually asked me if I had a tail. Hilarious.
We all need a laugh now and then. As a man of status, I feel it is my calling to right the world's wrongs, but there is only so much I can do alone. Working in tandem, though, you and I could make tremendous accomplishments.
My sentiments exactly. Together we could achieve a great deal. Though the circumstances of birth may have placed one of us in the Empire and the other in the Alliance, we can still aim for a brighter future together.
Yes, precisely. Together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. By the way, Lawrence, do you have a tail? Ah, Marianne. Praying to the goddess?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So persistent in your devotion. I quite admire that about you.
Oh, no. It's not like that.
No need for false modesty. I hardly know anyone with more piety.
I need to be going.
Wait a moment.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have a suggestion. I have been meaning to tell you about it for a while. Have you ever considered projecting more confidence? Your every word is laden with pessimism and devoid of enthusiasm. To gain the trust of commoners, you must appear self-assured at all times.
I have no need to earn the trust of the common people as a noble. All I want is to live a quiet life and to not be a bother to anyone. I dare not hope for anything beyond that.
But you're the only daughter of the esteemed Margrave Edmund. Regardless of what you hope for, you must concede that you have inherited certain responsibilities by virtue of your birth.
If that's the case, then I don't care to be a responsible person. Farewell.
One would think she does not wish to be a noble.
Are you enjoying this lovely day, Dorte? Everyone seems to be in such good spirits.
Marianne, do you have a moment?
Oh, Ferdinand. What do you need?
I have been thinking about what you said.
I didn't mean to upset you. You should just ignore me and...
You misunderstand. It is not that you upset me. Honestly, you mystify me. You are a noble, and yet you do not wish to be one. Is that not so? I did not expect to hear that from the daughter of Margrave Edmund.
But I'm not actually his daughter. He's a distant relative. We share very little of the same blood.
But still, you come from a noble lineage, do you not?
Oh, no. I'm just a minor noble from the countryside.
Minor though it may be, you were born into a noble family, which means you are a noble too. We did not choose to become nobles. We were born into the nobility.
I understand, but that's why I said I don't care to be responsible. I had no say in the matter.
Marianne,
My parents and I have suffered because of this bloodline and crest. Even so, I am prepared to do what I must, as the daughter of a noble family. But to be told that's still not enough, I just...
I see. I will not pretend to understand, but you should try to calm down a bit. Certainly, things did not turn out the way you had hoped, but the conditions are such that...
The conditions? Those will never change. There's nothing to do but give up. Please just leave. Ignore me.
There will be no convincing you. Very well. I will go.
Oh, Goddess. Why did you curse me with such suffering?
Marianne, are you not going to pray?
I finished. What is it?
I just wanted to apologize.
It's fine, Ferdinand. You did nothing wrong.
Last time we spoke, I did not quite finish saying what I wanted to say. You say I did nothing wrong, so perhaps you will hear me out this time?
Very well. What is it?
Rather than mourning the way things are, is it not better to accept reality and move forward from there?
Accept and move forward?
Precisely. You curse your heritage and reject your present situation. That makes you gloomy, even despairing. As long as you are held back by that way of thinking, nothing is ever going to change.
What about you? Do you really believe that you accept whatever comes in life?
I do. Come what may, I will never falter. Look at me. I lost my lands, my wealth, my status. I accept this reality, dark as it is.
How?
Well, each person is born with a purpose. We must fulfill that purpose, no matter our circumstances. It imbues our lives with meaning and direction. That is what I believe, anyway. Everyone has something they are meant to accomplish. That is true for nobles, commoners, even bandits.
I see. So that's what you believe. Do you really think it's possible that someone like me has a purpose to fulfill?
Yes, of course.
Oh. I'll give this some serious thought. Thank you, Ferdinand. Your words have deeply moved me.
Is that so? How wonderful. I will pray that you find the answers you seek.
delicious.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yes, Ferdinand, of course. Is something wrong?
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
That may be true.
Right there, you're smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Please, you're making me blush.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am just saying you seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that. In truth, I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said. It meant so much when you told me that everyone has a purpose to fulfill. Even me.
I am so glad to hear you say that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more. I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic. The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done. Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
It sounds to me like you have already found your answer.
What do you mean?
Making people happy. If you ask me, that is a truly worthwhile purpose.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Yes? What about it?
Today was my turn to prepare the meal. How is it?
Oh, it is delicious. The flavor and the texture are superb, so you are certainly making me happy.
I'm glad you like it.
I hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
Oh?
Maybe, if you have the time, you can cook something for me again? For me alone, I mean.
Of course. It would be my pleasure. It just never ends. Oh, Ferdinand?
Hilda, do you need something?
I just have a tiny favor to ask.
I apologize, but I must graciously decline.
You didn't even let me say what it was.
I can proffer a guess. Instead of relying on others, why not try doing something on your own? Nobles should not be lazy or idle. We should accomplish our goals through earnest efforts.
Easy for you to say. You're the very model of a diligent noble. Always contemplating the noblest course of action, never stopping to take a break. Your chore today was repairing the weapons, right? There are so many weapons here, and yet you're already done. That's pretty impressive.
It was nothing. Anyone could have done the same.
I don't think so. I certainly couldn't.
I do not believe that to be true.
Look at me. I'm supposed to be organizing these library supplies, but I have no idea where to start.
What could be difficult about such a task? You simply line them up and count them.
There are too many. Well, maybe it doesn't seem difficult to you, but that's just because you're so clever.
Granted, there might be some creative approaches to completing the task.
Oh? Please, enlighten me.
I can point you in the right direction. To start, divide them up by size.
Right. I'm with you so far. And then what?
Now, put similar items together. That makes it easier to get a handle on the numbers.
I see. Then what?
Now that you have arranged everything, you can begin counting. See how easy it is?
Wow! You did that in no time. You really saved my neck there. Thanks, Ferdinand. Bye!
It was nothing. I suppose I ended up doing her work after all.
Wow, I am thirsty. I could really go for something to drink.
Hilda, there you are.
Hey, Ferdinand. Thanks for your help earlier.
I do not desire your gratitude. I have a bone to pick with you. At the library, you pawned your job off on me.
Actually, I never asked you to do the whole thing. You started teaching me how and got carried away. Meanwhile, I was just awestruck by your cleverness and generosity.
Ah, well. Hey, wait a moment. Your charms won't work this time. You were just using me.
Oh, that hurts my feelings. I really was awestruck. If I had to arrange all the library supplies on my own, I'd have been there past nightfall.
With a steady pace, you would have finished by twilight at the latest.
Oh no, I'm not competent enough, honestly. I don't even know how to make a cup of tea.
You're quite a defeatist, Hilda. Hold a moment. Did you just say you cannot make tea?
That's right. I can't touch things that get hot. I'm always scared of getting burned.
Trust me, it is not difficult. You just need to be cautious as you are pouring. I can teach you.
Really? Great! Please teach me, Ferdinand.
This is a crucial skill for nobles, Hilda. If nothing else, you must learn the art of tea brewing. Look here. You bring the water to a boil, and you put the leaves in here. All right, that should be enough time steeping. Now we can drain the water, pour the tea, and enjoy.
That took longer than I expected. Well, thanks. Bottoms up.
You may have to steep it for more time or less, depending on the leaves. From now on, you can...
That really hit the spot. Thanks. I'm a slow learner, so I hope you'll teach me again sometime.
She fooled me again. That was the last time. I swear it.
Ferdinand, there you are.
Stay back, Hilda. I will no longer entertain your clever little requests. Your wiles will not work this time.
You shouldn't yell at a noble maiden. It's a no-no, etiquette-wise. By way of an apology, you may brew me some tea.
I am sorry to have offended you, but delightful as it sounds, I will not be brewing any tea at present. Besides, I taught you how to do it before. You should be able to do it on your own, so why don't you?
You did show me how to do it, but I can't do it as well as you.
And why not?
You selected just the right leaves, and you boiled them just right. You even considered the room temperature and humidity. Then you set out just the right pot along with just the right cups. You immediately picked out a design that you knew I would like. When you poured, the temperature, the timing, and the technique were all impeccable.
You seem to know an awful lot about tea for someone who cannot even pour it.
No, not really. Maybe I picked up a couple things from watching you. Even the sound of the liquid pouring into the cups was like music. Taken as a whole, it was an almost spiritual experience. A symphony for the senses.
I was just making tea in the traditional fashion.
Oh, I'm so flustered I'm not getting my point across. I'm trying to say that your tea is like love. You're devoted to bringing happiness to those who drink it. I could taste that from the first drop.
Well, when serving another, one must put in a little bit of love. But I must say, you surprise me. Not many are so attentive to the finer points of tea. I made quite the impression on you. Perhaps I ought to pour you another cup.
Really? Oh, thank you, Ferdinand.
I shall find us a suitable brew. Wait here a moment.
Oh, Ferdinand. So simple, and yet so kind. Oh dear, I'm thirsty again. If only I had a drink.
I have some tea. You are welcome to drink some.
Oh dear, I forgot to get my...
I found it. Here it is.
Oh dear, I didn't return my library book.
I returned your book a little while ago.
Oh, thank you. Ferdinand, how did you get so good at doing things for me? It's like you know what I need before I do.
I have lots of practice fielding your requests. All I need to do is think for a bit, and I know what you need. I can practically read your mind.
Oh, you know what it's like in here, huh? Okay, tell me what I'm thinking about right now.
You want a snack.
Sorry, nice try. Actually, I was thinking... I've become quite fond of you.
I suppose that is inevitable. I am rather fond of you as well. I find your laziness endearing.
Hey, the fond thing was just a joke. Really. I was thinking about tea. Kinda thirsty.
I admire you, Hilda.
You what?
I said I admire you. You are gifted and accomplished. I used to underestimate you.
I said I was kidding, didn't I? This is all a bit...
You feign sloth to obscure the considerable breadth and depth of your talents. Such delicate discretion, such noble prudence. If only I could emulate it.
I've never been called prudent before, but I like hearing you say it. Thank you. You're good at giving compliments. In return for all your help, I promise that I'll keep being prudent.
I appreciate that. Shall we go?
Huh? Go where?
I thought you wanted some tea. The dining hall is the place for that.
Oh, Ferdinand, you're too kind. What is that lovely smell? It seems to be coming from the training area. What could it be?
You have met your match, Rust. So stubborn.
Good day to you, Ferdinand. You smell amazing. That is you I am smelling, is it not?
Flane, hello. Are you referring to the smell of this oil?
Aha! Yes, that is the smell, all right.
I am simply doing some armor maintenance. A little oil keeps the rust at bay, ensuring that the armor moves smoothly, without any hitches.
I see. I thought maybe you were doing some cooking. You smell a bit like food. But I suppose that is the oil tricking my nose.
I would not cook in the training area. Are you hungry by chance?
Not really, no. But is that oil not also used for cooking? For things like frying meat or drizzling over a nice crisp salad? Things of that nature? Were I to coat my armor in oil that smells of food, I would be distracted by hunger at all times.
I doubt that amidst actual fighting, the smell would still make you hungry. We are always dancing with death on the battlefield. When your focus wavers, your life is forfeit.
I suppose you're right. And actually, all of this talk of delicious oil has made me hungry.
In that case, I will accompany you to the dining hall. I will be finished in a couple of minutes.
I must apologize, Ferdinand, but I cannot wait even a moment for you. I am famished. I shall be in the dining hall, getting my fill of fried goodies.
Well, that was quick. I will admit, now that she has mentioned it, it is a rather appetizing smell.
Good day, Ferdinand. Working on your armor again?
Good day to you too. That is right. I have been overusing it a bit lately. Now, allow me to wager a guess. Are you feeling hungry as usual?
As usual? It is not as though I am always searching for a meal. I am rather interested in armor. Do you mind if I peer over your shoulder while you work?
Of course not. Please, feel free to observe.
Thank you for allowing me the pleasure. Oh, so many different types. Wow! Helmets, armor, gauntlets. The range of defensive items seems innumerable. This one seems different from the rest of them. It is akin to a gauntlet, except...
Flame, careful!
Huh? Oh!
Flame, are you alright? Did you injure yourself?
I am well. But what was that?
That could have been serious. Please forgive me. I should have warned you first. This is a new type of gauntlet with a spring-loaded blade over the knuckles. The mechanism is rather easily triggered. How foolish of me not to warn you.
No, I am the one who was overly curious and reached out without permission. My apologies. But, when you snatched me out of harm's way, you embraced me quite tightly.
Yes. You were in danger and my instincts simply took hold. I hope you will forgive my rashness.
No, it is not that at all. It is just... you hugged me so tight.
Did it hurt? I am so sorry, Flame. I did not mean to cause you any discomfort.
Not at all. Not in the slightest. Anyway, I had better be on my way.
Such a delicate creature. And that sweet demeanor. Snap out of it, Ferdinand. Flame, I hope you will allow me to apologize.
Why would you need to do that?
Last time, when I was working on my armor, you could have been gravely injured. You have been avoiding me ever since, so I want to reiterate how very sorry I am.
I'm not sure that's entirely the case.
So you are not avoiding me?
To be perfectly honest, I felt a bit embarrassed. When you embraced me before, it really caught me off guard. You're surprisingly strong for how slender you appear. Anyway, it all got me rather flustered.
Oh, I see. Well, I do train quite often. On the battlefield, it is perfectly common to lift up a wounded comrade. It has nothing to do with your gender. In the heat of the moment, I pay no attention to such things. That is, how I would explain it.
I see. So you have a well of strength for embracing people, it seems.
Well, I would not put it like that. Usually, when I embrace people, it is in the context of battle.
Is that so? So the embrace was nothing more than a rescue. Perhaps I was flustered needlessly. I wonder if you would consider embracing me when my life is not in peril.
Huh? Why?
Because I'd like to feel that way again. That's why. How about it? Or is your capacity for embracing limited exclusively to warfare?
Oh, I see what is going on here. I had forgotten how charmingly ethereal you can be. Very well. As per your request, I shall embrace you again.
I'm delighted. Does right now work for you?
Why, of course. Easily done. Although, perhaps we shouldn't tell Sedith.
Agreed. Better to let this be our little secret.
My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like cicadas in midsummer's air.
Cicadas? Those noisy little bugs that swarm about, endlessly mingling with one another?
Oh, good point. I will revise. My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like a swallow in midsummer's air.
Migrating birds. Never sticking around for long. Always off to find love somewhere else.
Oh, no, what I meant was,
Oh, Ferdinand, you're just not yourself today. You don't seem focused. Your poetry lacks poetry. Perhaps a break is in order.
I would not dream of stopping now. This is my golden opportunity.
Pardon me?
We are finally alone. Just the two of us.
Why, yes, we are, aren't we?
You see, Manuela, I have long admired you.
Is that a fact?
I saw you perform countless times while you were with the opera company.
Oh, I see. So what did you think?
The figure you cut, that heartbreaking voice, I was mesmerized. That is why I am tongue-tied. I am nervous about speaking to you alone, after idolizing you for so long.
There's no need to be nervous, Ferdinand. That songstress you recall is long gone. I get nervous too, you know. But I want you to feel relaxed around me. Understood?
Yes, yes, I promise to try.
You're really full of surprises, you know that? I assumed you'd be more interested in combat than the arts. Come and chat sometime? I'd love to hear more about how my performances mesmerized you. Let's see. Has to be here somewhere.
Oh, my princess! Pray tell, are you seeking a book?
Ferdinand, you should probably settle down a little with the princess talk. Just speak to me normally. My princess days are long gone.
I could not disagree more. To me, you will always be that dazzling songstress, that veritable princess of the opera. From ages 5 to 11, I never missed a single one of your performances. Seeing you on stage was like glimpsing heaven. I was overcome with bliss.
You're going a little overboard, and I think I may have something in my eye.
An elegant coalescence of beautiful song and frenetic swordplay. That was the most memorable aspect for me. On stage, weapon in hand, letting your ballads soar to the heavens. Honestly, the first time I held a sword, it was not to train. I was trying to do your sword dance.
I inspired your love of weaponry? How flattering.
Correct. It is all thanks to you.
Oh, come now. Although I'm honored if my stage presence had any such influence on your life.
The honor is all mine. You blessed me by returning to my life. No matter where I go, or who I end up marrying, my childhood memory of you is inscribed in the deepest depths of my heart. Is something the matter?
Oh, nothing. I just feel a little empty inside now.
How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand, that song.
Manuela, hello. What a treat. It is most rare to see you at the training grounds. I have never had the honor of sparring with a princess. Why not grab a sword?
Ferdinand, that's called changing the subject. That song you were singing, is it the one you said made such an impression on you?
So you heard me. I hope it was not too grating on your ears.
You've nothing at all to be embarrassed about. I'm pleased if one of my songs stayed with you like that. Oh, it really takes me back. I remember the big battle in the first act. How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky, until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall. Wow. My heyday is behind me. That's for sure.
No, that was wonderful. Exactly the voice I recall from my childhood. To have witnessed this performance in such an intimate setting, I am deeply moved. I cannot stop trembling. I feel as though I am going to cry. You have shaken me to my very core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax. I can see that it's affected you deeply.
You made a little boy's cherished dream come true. Perhaps you can help realize one more.
Another one? And what would that be?
Would you do the sword dance with me? The one that accompanied the song? It had a part for a male performer, if I recall. I would be truly honored.
I'm sure I can't do it as well now as I could then, but you're just so adorably... you. I can't resist.
Thank you so much. That has long been a dream of mine, and you made it a reality.
I gotta say, Ferdinand, you're full of surprises. It was like dancing with a pro. Perfect timing, always in step.
All thanks to you. You inspired me.
Or perhaps it was you who inspired me.